So what is radiation? Well, radiation is the emission of electromagnetic waves or subatomic particles that cause ionization. And how does that affect us? Well, whether we like it or not, we are exposed to radiation on a daily level. The sun, for instance, our sun emits radiation every day, so whether we like it or not, we are exposed to radiation. And also, radiation is a part of our history as America and also our world history as well. And it is also in our natural materials. So it is great to know how those can affect your body and also affect your loved ones and others around you. And so today, that's why I will be informing you and speaking to you about the effects of radiation. So, hello, my name is Nicholas Marion. And no, luckily, I have not been subdued to severe radiation exposure in my life, thank God. And all of this information will be the most up-to-date information and that I will be presenting to you from credible sources such as the CDC, the Agency of Toxic Substances, and also the Environmental Protection Agency. So, I'm sorry. So, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And now let's get into our topics and what we will be talking about today. We'll be talking about the types of radiation, the historical events, and also radiation in our healthcare. Radiation is not all bad, so that's why we'll be going through topics on radiation. So first up, we have alpha particles. These are the heaviest particles of radiation. They are small though, but they are the heaviest. I know, right? And they consist of natural materials such as uranium, polonium, and radium. Radium is a form of radon, which can be found in homes, and when inhaled, it can cause effects inside of your body. Alpha particles do not really penetrate the skin, but it's when they're inhaled, swallowed, or enter your body from a cut, say they enter your body from a cut, is when they can be very dangerous. And then they have the ability to damage sensitive living tissue and organs. And so that's why they can be among the most dangerous types of radiation, even though they're the least penetrating. Next, we have beta particles. Unlike alpha particles, these are negatively charged and are more penetrating, and these can be stopped by materials such as clothing and little amounts of lead. These are most dangerous because they can be inhaled as well, so that can be very severe, and these can also cause burns on your skin because they can also penetrate the skin, so they will cause burns or skin lesions. And next we have gamma particles, which are among the most penetrating, and these are pure energy, and they can completely pass through the human body, which can damage your DNA and mutate your genes. So that can be very dangerous when not regulated, or and they can't really be stopped. It really takes a lot of effort to stop these. Several feet of concrete, metal, and things like that are used to stop these. And then next we have X-rays, which is almost on the same pedestal as gamma rays, but we do use these in our medicine, so we have regulated them, and they are the most source of man-made. They are the most source man-made radiation that we have because we use it almost every day in our medicine, and they can be very powerful. When not regulated, they need to be stopped by several feet of concrete or lead or things like that, natural materials like that. And so now we're going to move on to our next topic, which is historical events. And we have 4 historical events that I'm going to go over that involve radiation. First is the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombs in 1945 that ended World War II. The Hiroshima attack killed about 90,000 to 166,000 people, and that's here stated right here in this presented right here in this image. This is the before Hiroshima was bombed, and this is the after. I hope you guys can see that. And with the atomic bomb, it was very powerful. As you can see, it caused gene mutation with the residents who survived, and the ones who did not survive probably look like this. So yeah, that's very devastating, and they caused cancer, gene mutation, leukemia. Is one of the cancers that spike, one of the types of cancer that spiked in that region after the incident. Then next we have the 3 Mile Island disaster in 1979, Pennsylvania, and this is the picture of those power plants right here. This contaminated the residents, causing them to vomit, have headaches and diarrhea and skin lesions. This happened because of a humanly mistake during a scheduled safety test. To test the safety of the nuclear power plant. And yeah, during the safety test, the reactor went all crazy. They tried to cool it down, but they couldn't do that. And then it spewed radiation everywhere across that region. And this was the effect on the residents. And they did try to hide it, so the government's trust was compromised through the residents. So yeah, that's another thing deep into that. And next we have also, this was the worst nuclear accident on U.S. soil. And this one, the Chernobyl accident in 1986 Ukraine, is the worst nuclear accident in world history. Many survivors developed thyroid cancer after, and other health defects. This is the picture right here of the explosion. The fact about this is that it got so out of control that they tried to dump and contain the radiation with a whole bunch of materials such as concrete and sand, big amounts of sand, and it created something called the elephant's foot, which is very radioactive today. Back then, if you stepped into the contamination zone, you were in that contamination zone for 300 seconds or more, you would die within days. And because that is today is considered one of the most radioactive masses today as well. And next we have radiation in healthcare. We have X-ray exams, for instance, and these are used to locate diseases, broken bones, and infections. And since gamma rays and X-rays are kind of on the same level, they both can penetrate the human body, and so we regulated X-rays to help us in advantages in technology. And this one, X-ray, is not particularly dangerous, but it can be dangerous, so it's not impossible. But it has to be professionally regulated in order to be considered safe. And others who go through this, and I'm actually trying to be a radiology technician, so I do resonate with this one as well. Next we have radiation therapy. This is more targeted on cancerous cells. Yes, radiation can cause cancer, but it can also help against cancer. It's ironic, I know, but it's used to destroy cancer cells. The treatment affects every patient differently. They can experience fatigue, dizziness, aches, body aches, headaches, and they can also experience burns on their skin and lesions as well, which is also like a very common type of thing with radiation. And they can also experience hair loss. I don't know if anyone has had any relatives going through this, gone through this procedure, but I have before, and I've had a relative go through that before, and it didn't end well. So that, and then now we have CT scans, which also uses radiation to create image slices of inside the body. This is also used to detect tumors, diseases, internal bleeding, and blood clotting. And yeah, it's a very, very, very good thing that we have this. And mammograms used for breast cancer mostly. It's mostly for men and women. There's a common misconception that mammograms are only for women, but they can be used for men as well. And those look inside of the breast for breast cancer and tumors. and things of that nature. And so with this of what we've all gone through, we now see like radiation has bad tendencies and good tendencies. And yeah, now we can kind of see that. And with our past, we know that what we've learned from and how we've came to realize how dangerous this is and how good it can be. For instance, the presence of radiation isn't necessarily bad, and the absence of radiation isn't necessarily good either, because we need it in our resources. Like we said, the radiation comes through radios, the sun, light in our phones, and everything like that. So we do need radiation, whether we like it or not. It's all dependent on how we use it. And this quote was by James Conker. And so radiation. So what he meant by this is that it's all about how we use radiation. I feel it's all about how we conduct ourselves with this natural material and this natural phenomenon. So thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope you learned something. I hope you got some new information. And I did give you the most up-to-date information, and hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you.